Hello everyone, welcome back to A Tray of Crochet. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make a sphere, a ball. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and so now I'm going to finally deliver this video. Of course, while I'm crocheting, I never know what I'm going to do. I never know what ideas are going to come to mind, and so as I was crocheting my sphere, my ball, creating this video, I decided to go further and create like a face and some human features to the sphere. So we're going to take this in steps. You can just make the sphere if you want, but if you want to challenge yourself and go further and give some personality to your ball, then feel free to continue with me. To make the basic sphere or ball, the thing that you will need, or things that you will need, include some medium 4 yarn. You can use whatever size yarn you want, but I'm using the medium 4. I'm going to be using a 5mm US crochet hook. Okay, you'll need a pair of scissors, you'll need a darning weaving tapestry needle, and you will need some fiber fill. If you want to go to the next step and personalize this ball, give it some features, then you're going to need a couple of eyes. Okay, you'll need a nose. Isn't that cute? And you'll need some yarn, okay, for the mouth. And if you want to give it hair, then yeah, you can use whatever colors you want for the hair. Okay, you can be creative, make it your own. Okay, so these are the things that you will need, and I will leave a link to like the eyes, the nose, the fiber fill in the description, so definitely check that out. Enough talking, let's get to it. We will start out with the magic circle or magic ring. So take your yarn, wrap it around your 2 fingers like that. Then wrap it around that way, creating an X. Put your thumb over the X. Continue to wrap this around by rotating your hand and placing the string between the 2nd and 3rd fingers. Grab your crochet hook, go under the first strand, hooking it onto the 2nd one, and then pulling it through to the front. Take your thumb and your finger here, grab at the crochet hook, and then gently slide those 2 fingers out. Now grab the working yarn and chain 1. We're going to pull on this tail a little bit to close up the loop, and now we're going to put 8 single crochet into this ring. So just go into the ring, you're crocheting over 2 strands, go into the ring, yarn over, pull through to the front for 2 loops, 1, 2, yarn over, go through 2, 1, 2, that's 1. Go into the ring again, yarn over, pull through to the front for 2 loops, yarn over, and go through 2, 1, 2. That's 2 single crochet. Make 6 more and I'll meet you there. Here I have my 8 single crochet, and I'm going to pull on the strand to close up that ring. Okay, reduce it down to a singularity. Alright, now you guys, we're going to slip stitch into that first single crochet. We're going to slice the icing off top of the cake. So that's the top of the first single crochet. If you want, for your beginners, if you have a stitch marking, you can put that on the top of the first single crochet before you get to crocheting the others, just so that can more easily help you identify it. Okay, but that's the first single crochet. So we're going to slice the icing off the top of the cake. So I'll go in there, slice the icing off the top of the cake, and then I'm going to slip stitch. To slip stitch, I just yarn over, and then I pull all the way through. 1, 2. Okay. Now I'm going to chain 1 to start round 2. Round 2 will have a total of 16 stitches because we're going to put 2 single crochet in every single crochet around. So we're going to go right back in there where we just sliced the icing off the top of the cake, where we just slip stitch, and we're going to put 2 single crochet in there. So we chained 1, just enter the same place again, yarn over, pull through to the front for 2 loops, yarn over, go through 2. Now go back in there and put a second one, yarn over, go through 2. So this 1 single crochet has 2 single crochet in it. I'll show you again. Here's the next stitch, and you can always pull it over to make sure you're getting the next stitch. Here's the top, slice the icing off the top of the cake, yarn over, pull through to the front for 2 loops, yarn over, go through 2, go back in there and make a second one. Continue putting 2 single crochet in every single crochet round, and I'll meet you once we get to the end. I am back around. I have my total of 16 single crochet, and I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet of the round, which is there. There's that chain 1, and then that's the top of the first single crochet. So I'll go in there, slicing the icing up top of the cake, yarn over, pull all the way through. Chain 1. And then I'm going to go right back in there, and I'm going to put a single crochet. So starting round 3. Enter, go back in there, and make your single crochet. The pattern for round 3 is 1, 2. Okay, so the first stitch got 1. We just made that 1. So now the next stitch will get 2. So we'll go in the next stitch, put 1 single crochet, go back in there to put a second one. That's 2. The next stitch gets 1. The next stitch gets 2. Back in there for 2. Continue in that fashion all the way around. I'm almost back around. Got 2 more to go. So the next one will get 1. And then the next and final stitch will get 2. Back in there for 2. Slip stitch to the first single crochet of the round and chain 1. So if you've seen my cap beanie tutorials, you know that normally I just continue increasing this way, adding another 1 before the 2, right? So the next round would get, or the pattern for it would be 1, 1, 2. But with this pattern, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to place non-increase rounds in between these increase rounds. So we've increased each of these past 3 rounds, right? The first round had 8. We increased from 0 to 8. Then round 2, we put 2 stitches in every stitch. That got 6, so it was a total of 16 stitches. And then round 3, we increased again. The pattern was 1, 2. The next stitch, round 4, will just be a non-increase round. So we're going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch around. Then round 5, the next round after that, we'll go back to the pattern, picking up where we left off. So it'll be 1, 1, 2. Okay. So you get to take a break with the increase rounds with this pattern. So we're going to go in here where we slip stitch and put the single crochet like normal, and then just put 1 single crochet in every stitch around. I'll meet you at the beginning. I'm back around, and I have a total of 24 stitches because my previous round had a total of 24 stitches and I didn't increase. So I'm going to slip stitch to the first single crochet of the round, which is there. I'm going to chain 1, and now I'm going to go back to the increase round. So I want to pick up where I left off. The last increase round was just 1, 2. That was the pattern. For this increase round, it'll be 1, 1, 2. So the first stitch, going back in there where I just slip stitched, that will get 1. The next stitch will also get 1. And then the third stitch over will get 2. Back in there for 2. Next stitch gets 1. Second stitch gets 1. Third stitch gets 2. Back in there for 2. See you there. By the way, you should always be ending on the 2 with these patterns. Now we have a total of 32 stitches. 1, 1, 2. Slip stitch into the first single crochet of the round. Chain 1. And remember, we're alternating now between increase rounds and non-increase rounds. We just did an increase round, so now this round will be a non-increase round, meaning we put 1 single crochet in every stitch round. Go back in there where you just slip stitch and put a single crochet, and then put 1 single crochet in every stitch around. I'll meet you at the beginning. Alright, so here's the point where you need to ask yourself, how large do you want your ball to be? Okay. If we were to stop here and now move on to the next part of the pattern where we do several non-increase rounds, you will get a sphere, a ball about this size. Okay. If we did yet another increase round, okay, so we went to the point where we did 1, 1, 1, 2, so 3 1s and then a 2, and then we started those several non-increase rounds after that, then we would get a ball this size. So you see, just basically increasing one more time makes a huge difference. So you can decide what size you want your ball to be. Because I am pressed for time, I'm going to stop here. I'm always pressed for time, but I still try to get these videos to you guys. Alright, so I am going to continue with the pattern now, slip stitching into that first single crochet. And this was one round of non-increase. Now I'm going to do 3 more rounds of non-increase. So I'm going to have a total of 4 consecutive non-increase rounds. Say I wanted to continue making this bigger, then at this point I would do my increase round of 1 1 1 2, and then I would follow that up with 8 rounds of non-increase. Okay, but we're not doing that. That's just for you guys who want a bigger sphere. You may be wondering, well, how many non-increase rounds do I do if I go bigger or smaller? Well, it just kind of depends on you and, you know, how you want it shaped. If you do too many non-increase rounds before you start to kind of close up that top, then you're going to get something that's more tubular and not spherical. So just kind of eyeball it, but 4 works well with this one, with this size, and 8 non-increase rounds consecutive works well if you do 1 more increase round. All right, sorry, so much talking. All right, so I see this hole is a little bit open. I'm going to close it now by pulling on this tail. Okay, and I can do that throughout. And I can weave that tail in so it doesn't open back up, but it's really not of importance right now. So I have 3 more rounds of non-increase. So I chain 1, go in here, put a single crochet, and then I put 1 single crochet in every stitch around. So I'm going to do this for this round, the next round, and the next round. So 3 more rounds, and then I'll check back in at that point. So this is essentially what we have. We have half of our sphere, right? Because it is a sphere, it needs to be symmetrical, which means we need to do exactly what we did to get up to this point, going that way, but we need to do it in the reverse order. And instead of increasing, we're going to decrease. So the rounds where we increase, those are now going to be decrease rounds, so it goes small again. All right, this is cute. So we did our 4 rounds of non-increase, and think about, what was the round that we did before we started those 4 consecutive non-increase rounds? Yes, it was, we used the pattern, it was an increase round, and we used the pattern 1 1 2. So now, so we did 1 1 and then we increased on that 3rd stitch. So for this round we're going to do 1 1 and then we're going to decrease on that 3rd stitch. 3rd stitch? How can we decrease on the 3rd stitch? Okay, well technically you need 2 stitches to decrease. So it'll be 1 1. So those are the first 2 stitches, 1 and 2. Get 1 and 1. And then 3 and 4, that's where we're going to decrease. So let me show you what I mean. So we're going to chain 1. Go into the first stitch, put a single crochet, that's your 1. The next stitch is 1. And then we're going to single crochet 2 together over the 3 and the 4 because we're decreasing. How do you SC 2 together? You go into the first one, yarn over, pull through to the front. Pause. Go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through to the front. Pause, and you see, oh, I have 3 loops. Now we just yarn over and go through all 3. 1, 2, 3. And we've decreased over that stitch and that stitch. So it's 1 1 and then SC 2 together, single crochet 2 together. So we've utilized 1 2 3 4 stitches in that previous round, but you see we now only have 3 stitches, 1 2 3. Okay, that's how you decrease. Let me show you one more time. So 1, next stitch, 1, and then over the 3rd and 4th we single crochet 2 together. Go in, yarn over, pull through to the front. Pause, go into the next one, yarn over, pull through to the front. Pause, admire, 3 loops, okay, cool. Yarn over, go through all 3. Continue in that fashion, and I'll meet you at the beginning. You should end decreasing over the final 2 stitches. See you there. I'm down to my final 2 stitches. I'm going to single crochet 2 together. I told you that that is how it would end, and it did. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet of the round, yarn over, pull all the way through, chain 1, Now ask yourself, what did you do before you did the 1-1-2 round? Oh yeah, we did a non-increase round where we just put one single crochet in every stitch around. Okay, so since we're going in the reverse order, that's what we need to do next. So I chain one, and now I'm going to go back in there where I slip stitch, and I'm going to put a single crochet. And then I'm just going to put one single crochet in every stitch around, just like that. Alright, I'll meet you there. I have crocheted my final stitch. I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet of the round, and I'm going to chain one. Alright, now what did I do before this non-increase round one? Oh yeah, the pattern. I used the pattern 1-2, which meant that the first stitch got one single crochet and the next stitch got two. That was an increase round. But because I am going in the reverse direction and I'm trying to get smaller, I know that this needs to be a decrease round. Okay, well, I still do the one of the 1-2 pattern, so I go in there where I slip stitched and I make a single crochet. But now, instead of putting 2 stitches in the next stitch, I'm going to decrease over the next 2 stitches. So I'll single crochet 2 together, SC2 together. So I go in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through to the front for 2 loops, pause. Go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through to the front for 3 loops, pause, admire, okay. Yarn over, go through all 3 loops. And that is how I decrease, okay. I'll show you one more time. The next stitch gets 1, no problem. But now we have to decrease over the next 2 stitches. So go into the next one, yarn over, pull through to the front for 2 loops, pause. Enter the next stitch, yarn over, pull through to the front for 3 loops, pause, admire. Yarn over, go through all 3 loops. I'll continue in this fashion and I'll meet you there. I'm getting back on a little bit early because I just want to show you what I think, okay? Because I want to keep in my head 1, 2, okay? Even though I'm decreasing, when I say 2, I'm thinking decrease over 2 stitches. So 1 and then 2. That's my decrease over the next 2 stitches, like that. And then I just keep moving. Next stitch, 1 and then 2. SC2 together, like that. And voila, I'm back to the beginning. Slip stitch into the first single crochet of the round and pull all the way through. Okay, so I don't have any more non-increase rounds to make at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop and I'm going to start to use my fiber fill because I don't want the hole to get too small where I can barely get it in there. I'm not worried about this opening up, but if you were, as I said, you could weave in this tail about the circle. If you just pull it, it's sufficient, okay? So, time to fill up this ball with the fiber fill. The best way that I found to do this is to take pieces and stuff them in there. If you put a whole big lump like this in there at a time, then you won't be able to have as much freedom when it comes to shaping your ball. So just be patient, tear it in little pieces, and gradually fill it. So for instance, I have this, alright? I'm not just going to stick all this in there. It has its own shape because it's compact. But rather, I'm going to tear it in smaller pieces and then stick in there. Stick it in there and shape it how I want it to be shaped. Okay, you have more freedom when you tear it in smaller pieces. Now this is fun, it's therapeutic. Just like crocheting, it's therapeutic. Okay, so take your time and decide how firm you want your ball to be. If you want your ball, your spear, your ball to be really firm, then you're gonna really pack it in there. Okay. If you don't want it to be super firm, then you won't use as much fiber fill. So, I'm already thinking about the next round. The next round, isn't that cute? So cute! The next round is going to be one where I just decrease. I decrease over every 2 stitches all the way around. I'm going to do some more filling but I'm going to do it after I complete the next round. I just wanted to give some initial shape to it and, you know, be nice to myself. Meaning, not have to struggle to get the fiber fill in there. The base is pretty much the way I want it, so I'm going to continue crocheting now. So I'm going to chain 1, and then this round is just decreasing over 2 stitches all the way around. So I go right back in there where I slip stitch, yarn over, pull through to the front, pause, next stitch, yarn over, pull through to the front, pause, 3 loops, admire, okay, yarn over, go through all 3 loops. Next stitch, yarn over, pull through to the front, pause for 2 loops. Go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through to the front, pause, admire the 3 loops, yarn over, go through all 3. Okay, continue in that fashion, and I'll meet you once we get back around there. And you guys, when you're crocheting, be sure to push the fiber fill down so you're not crocheting over the fiber fill. You're not pulling it out, okay? So as I'm sticking my hook in there, I'm pushing the fill down out of the way so I can crochet without crocheting the fiber fill. Alright, that's that. So I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet like that. Then I'm going to make my loop big, and I still have this hole. You see, this is not shaped quite the way I want it yet. So now I'm going to resume filling, just tearing into small pieces, taking my time and filling it, giving it the shape that I really want this ball to have. Now is also going to be a good time to figure out where you want your eyes and nose to go. Okay, so you can be thinking about that while you're filling this up. I like to get my sphere, my ball, perfectly shaped before I add the nose and the eyes, because obviously that can affect how it looks. So I want the perfect shape first, and then working with that perfect shape, I know exactly how and where to place my eyes and the nose. Okay. All right, this is looking pretty good, pretty symmetrical. Okay. So if you are not adding eyes and nose, that's fine. Just hang on tight. But for those of you who want to add your eyes and nose, this is what you're going to do. So let's first grab our eyes. And then I can see this line. I know that that's the back. So I'm going to turn it around. This is the back. So this is the front. And I'm going to kind of just eyeball where I want my eyes. So this is completely up to you. I think I want like one there. That's cute. And then, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. That's cute. I think that's cute. Oh, look at those eyes. So cute. Oh. So these eyes come with these backs. And I guess it's kind of like earrings for women who wear, or people, I shouldn't say women. For people who wear earrings, you know how you have the backs. I remember my mom used to always say, hey, help me find the back. I can't find my back, or my back fell out. So that's how and why I know what they are. Anyway, we got to put these backs in. So we find the point like that, and then these you just put on like this. So just snap it on, and then it holds it in place. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing for this one. Kind of push the fill down, temporarily. Okay, and make sure it's still in the right place. Is that where I had it, or was it there? Yeah, it was there. So now that I have a clear view of where I'm going, I'm gonna put the back on. Just push like that. Okay, and you can kind of shape it to make sure it's the way you want. Okay, like that. Alright, so now we just need to do the nose. So we can figure out where we want the nose. This is all personal preference. Okay, I think maybe right there. And some of you may want to do some of this before you put so much fill in, but I definitely prefer to do it after I have the fill in, so I have a better idea of how it looks once it's filled out. Okay. So, it's preference. Everything is preference. So maybe like that. Yeah. But do I want it like that? Yeah. So once you get it exactly where you want it, then you'll add that back. So once again, just kind of move the fill, holding that one in place, and then you'll find it in the back. And then we'll put the actual back on. Don't push it all the way until you know for sure that that's how you want it. Okay? Yeah, that looks good. Looks good to me. Okay. So there we have our eyes and our nose. Now we can resume to filling it. It was a little distorted while we were doing that, but you know, it's okay. It's part of the process. So we're filling it the last time, our last opportunity to fill it before we close this bad boy up. Okay. And like I said, the more you put in there, the firmer your ball will be. Just take your time ripping off pieces, little pieces at a time, and stuffing it where it needs it to give it the shape that you want it to have. Okay, this is good to me. So now I'm going to reinsert my crochet hook, pull the loop small. I'm going to chain one, you guys. And now I'm just going to put one single crochet in every stitch around. So I go right in there where I slip stitch and make a single crochet. Just one stitch around. Slice and icing off the top of the cake. Six, 7, and my final stitch is 8, which makes sense because remember I started my magic circle with 8 single crochet and I'm ending with 8. Now I'm going to slip stitch into that first single crochet of that final round. It might be a little awkward to get in there. Some of that fill is around the stitch, so it's making it a little slippery. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it. Yarn over. Pull all the way through, slip stitching. Now yarn over. And then we're going to cut our yarn, leaving a little bit of a tail. And then fasten off like that. Now you might be wondering, what about that hole? We're going to close that. That's why we left a little tail. So grab your darning weaving tapestry needle. Feed the yarn through the needle. And now we're just going to go in the tops of each of these stitches, each of these single crochets. So just go from the inside out like that. One, next stitch, next stitch, next stitch. Just slicing the icing off the top of the cake with these, with your darning weaving tapestry needle. Next stitch, next stitch. Just do it until you get all the way back around. Next stitch. Alright, and then once you've gotten all the way around, pull to tighten. And that'll close up the hole. And now, we're just going to weave in this tail through some stitches, going about a circle, like that. See? Okay. Here we go. And this is what you have, you guys. Isn't that so cute? Oh my gosh, those eyes. Every time I look at those eyes. And you guys know, if you know me, if you watch my videos, you know blue is my favorite color. So, they just make me melt. Alright, so now we just need to add a mouth. Okay, you can make this smile, frown, whatever you want. Okay, so it's up to you. So to add this mouth is very easy. You just take a strand of whatever color you want the mouth to be. I'm using black yarn. And you'll feed it through your darning weave and tapestry needle. So now you're gonna just have to choose where you want your smile to be. And it's good to have reference points. I like to use the eyes. And I'd like the smile to be on the inside of the eyes. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is I want it on the inside, and I know how far down I'm going to go, but we'll get to that later. First, on the inside. So once I know it's the inside of the eye, and I know it's a couple of rows down, okay, I am going to just kind of take my darning weave and tapestry needle down that far, and I'm going to insert my crochet hook there, or my darning weave and tapestry needle there. And then I'm going to come out on the other side, approximately in the same location. So it's down a couple of rounds, 1, 2, and then it's also where I'm coming out is on the inside of that eye, the left eye from this perspective, right? So now I'm going to pull this through like that. And I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail on this side because I'm going to pull that in later. Okay, so I entered there, I came out there. There are like 3 stitches in between, 1, 2, 3. You don't have to be exact, just kind of make it symmetrical as you eyeball it, okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in there, back where I came, where I first started, and I'm going to go down 2 rounds, 2 more rounds. So I'm going to go, so I'm at this one, I'm going to go down 1 and then down another. And I'm going to come out at a diagonal. So I'm going to go in the same hole that I first started in, and then I'm just going to go down to that center point like that. So it's like, okay. I'm going to take my yarn and I'm going to put it under the darning weave and tapestry needle like that. And then I'm going to pull through. Okay. And that's how you get your smile. Well, part of it. We're not done with it yet. Okay. So I pull it like that, and then I kind of pull there just to make sure it's tight the way I want it. And now all I do, you guys, so here, remember I put the yarn under it, right? So now I want to secure that. The way I can secure that like that is by going into the stitch or into a stitch below, and then I'm just going to feed it to the other side and pull there. So I'm pulling on that side. This is what it's looking like on this side, and you see it's going to secure the smile there, creating a little knot. And you don't want to pull it too tight or so tight that it distorts your bubble, your sphere, okay? You don't want it to be like sunken in there. You don't want it to be that tight, but you want it also to kind of keep the correct shape of the smile. So there you go. Alright, so I'm going to remove the darning weave and tapestry needle. And now I'm going to take this tail and feed it to the other side as well. So I'm going to go in that same hole, okay, like that, and also feed it to the other side. And just squish your work a little bit so you can get it through there. So pull in there, and then this is what's happening on this side. See how if I pull too tight it's gonna cause the sphere to bunch. So I don't want that. So I'll make sure I pull the right tail like that. And then I can kind of bunch it or reshape it. Okay. And there's my smile. Okay. Then on this side, the cool thing when you do these things is that you can just cut the yarn down and then kind of manipulate it, like squeeze it a few times, and then eventually that yarn goes inside and you can't see it. Very cool. But you have this perfectly made smiley face. Isn't that cute? Okay. So yeah, that's how you add a smiley face. Okay. And then with this, you could do the same thing with this white tail. You could just feed the yarn through your darning weave and tapestry needle, and then pull it in to go down, like that. So I'm pulling through, and this is what it's looking like on top. And just pull it enough, okay, so as not to distort it. And then I could cut that down as well. And then when I squeeze a couple of times, it goes inside. Okay, and here is my sphere, and it's a sphere that I've given some personality. Okay, you could also leave that tail, not weave it in, and use it to hang this on something. Okay, so it has many uses. This video was first started out with the intention of just showing you how to make a ball, a sphere. I have a ton of fiber fill left over, and I was like, I really need to use this, so that's what came to mind. But then I'm like, I should decorate. So now you know how to make a smiley face, or a face period. All right, I'm going to show you one more thing if you're still here with me. So you might want to add some hair. So let me get another one. So with this guy, I added some hair. Okay, very cool. And I'm just going to show you what I did. Alright, so you're going to take your strand, you're going to grab your crochet hook, and then wherever you want the hair to be implanted in the scalp, you just put your hook in there like that. And then all you do is you hook it on, just pull through, hold the short tail, chain one. Pull through like that, and then you pull and it's secure. Okay, and then what it leaves you with is a shorter strand, which is what I want for the front, and then this longer strand that goes off to the side. If you want equal lengths, then just put it at the halfway point. But yeah, it's very simple. That's just how you add some hair to this if you want. Okay, so there's so many things that you can do with this pattern. Like I said, I haven't put a smiley face on this, but you can use it to hang if you want onto something. I haven't cut this yet. Here's a bigger one. I haven't decided what I want to do with this one yet. I might just leave this one a ball and not give it a face. But yeah, so many things you can do with these, and they're just so cute. I really like them. As I said before, I'll leave a link to the eyes and nose. I got this package years ago. And it just has like 348 pieces, like with eyes and nose and things like that, and it tells you like what's what, you know, in relation to where it's placed in this container. It's very, very helpful, very useful. And then it comes with these like backs that tell you what sizes these backs are suitable for, and they're different sizes, like 12, 14, 16 millimeter. This is like 6 through 10 millimeter backs. So yeah, it's awesome. I say all that to say it's awesome. I'll leave a link to it if you want to do that, or if you just want to make a ball. All you need is, like I said, some polyfill and some yarn, and yeah, you know, just the basics, your scissors, your darning weave and tapestry needle, stuff like that. But you don't need to worry about the eyes and the nose. And you can even create the eyes and the nose using yarn as well. Okay? Alright guys, well, this was a fun video. If you want to see other fun videos, check out this playlist.